The world is full of traps at every corner, ready to undermine your masculinity. Just look at the popular movies or shows on Netflix, or the types of people who are idolized nowadays. Nothing escapes the mind control agenda of the elites. Men are being manipulated to accept weakness. There is a very famous story about a lion that I want you to know. Once upon a time, there was a fierce lion, feared by all. One day he fell in love with a farmer's daughter, but there was a problem. The farmer hated the lion. Upon discovering the lion's love for his daughter, the farmer decided to do everything to prevent this union. The cunning farmer called the lion and said he would allow the marriage on one condition, that the lion remove his sharp claws for the safety of his daughter. The lion thought, "It's a small price for a great reward, why not?" So he broke his claws against a rock. The next day, he returned to the farmer and said, "I no longer have sharp claws. Give me your daughter's hand in marriage." But the cunning farmer told the lion to do one more thing, remove his sharp teeth and fangs. The lion agreed to this condition as well and broke his fangs. However, when the lion returned to the farmer the next day, the farmer attacked the lion and killed him. This time, the lion had no claws or teeth to defend himself. He had chosen to voluntarily give up everything that gave him strength. Remember, brothers, the world we live in today is no different. There are powerful forces at play which have carefully designed a matrix to keep you enslaved to your desires and impulses. And here's the harsh truth. You can blame the farmer or the elites all you want, but in the end, it was the lion who chose to obey voluntarily. Strength is a virtue that all men must cultivate, whether in professional, financial, or romantic life. Every man has the natural desire to feel dominant, strong, and powerful, because that is who you are. Nowadays, many men complain about everything, spend too much money on drugs and pornography, and even apologize for things that don't require apologies. These are behaviors that prevent men from becoming the strong individuals they were meant to be. Number 1. Mocking others. This is a point that few people address, but as a high-value man, you should never belittle others. You may have heard of the example of the crab bucket. When one crab is about to escape, the others pull it back. If you find yourself mocking others, remember this. You are putting yourself below them. Of course, this doesn't mean you shouldn't correct someone for their mistakes, but don't make a joke of it. As a man, you need to teach and guide your brothers without resentment or ulterior motives. Remember, strong and confident men don't belittle others. Instead, listen to what Mike Tyson says about this. Social media has made you too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. Number 2. Failure to accept responsibility. Going back to the story of the lion and the farmer's daughter, the main reason why the lion loses everything in the end boils down to the fact that he wasn't aware of his responsibility. His responsibility was to live as a lion. His sharp fangs and claws were part of what made him a lion, but he forgot this responsibility and chose to abandon it. The same applies in your life. Embrace your responsibilities with pride. I want you to say with me, I will honor my responsibilities with pride, for they are what make me a man. The day you choose to run away from your responsibilities is the day you choose to abandon masculinity completely. I want you to memorize this quote. The price of greatness is responsibility. Listen again. The price of greatness is responsibility. Number 3. Running from failure. This is a challenge for many men today. Most men always choose comfort over growth. Remember that growth is painful and often hidden behind failure. There's a famous example of a man digging for diamonds. He doesn't know how deep the diamond is, but he keeps digging. At first, he only sees more dirt every time he digs, but he persists. After a few hours or even days, he finds what he was looking for. So, remember, brothers, failure is not the end. If this is the mentality you have, you can be sure that you will never succeed in anything. Think of anything worth having. Let's say you start a business. In the beginning, you might face many so-called failures as you try to learn the business and attract customers. But when you stay in the game long enough and don't try to escape these temporary failures, you see yourself growing. The same goes for women. At first, when you approach them, you might seem like a strange man who doesn't know how to interact, but your success is behind these temporary failures. This is a small price that a strong man needs to pay for success. We are often trained from childhood to be ashamed of our mistakes and failures and to try to justify them by blaming someone else. You may have said, "It's not my fault," or "That person is to blame." These are thoughts of a loser. I want you to hear this quote and write it down somewhere if you want. It is a weak man who blames his failure on the strength of others. Number 4. Submission to futile laws too easily. Do you want to know the difference between a coward and a high-value man? Simple. The coward always sides with the majority, even if what they are saying is clearly wrong. And the worst part is that the coward expects the high-value man to also submit to these futile and malicious laws and regulations. A high-value man always examines and judges everything before deciding to follow. In today's world, we've been so conditioned to a mentality that you shouldn't judge, or that you shouldn't do this or that. This is getting out of control. You are just a puppet and a lab rat at this point, submitting to all the agendas and laws created. There is nothing wrong with obeying, but obey only what aligns with your purpose, your mission, and above all, the law of God. Nothing is above the law of the Almighty. Ask yourself if you are someone who is easily intimidated and tries to please everyone. For some men, it can be incredibly difficult to learn to say no, but if you act based on the truth for the first time, you will understand that the world will not collapse around you. I have seen so many men lead a life of fear in marriage, as if their wives were some kind of tyrant and they didn't dare speak up or correct them. This is a clear example of feudal submission. Number 5, you have weak body language. The concept of body language is extremely important. This includes non-verbal cues like a handshake, eye contact, the way you sit, walk, and move when talking and interacting with others. People can tell if you are a strong or weak man by your body language. Unfortunately, agendas have also turned against strong masculine body language. Be intentional with your body and maintain a masculine posture. Remember that your body language is often the first and easiest way to prevent someone from taking advantage of you. Number 6, wasting your youth. We always discuss the importance of your youth on this channel. Your 20s and even your 30s are the so-called golden days. These are the days when you should build, build, and build. Think of a farmer planting a seed. He doesn't expect the seed to bear fruit the next day. In your 20s, just as the farmer plants seeds, you need to plant spiritual, emotional, and physical seeds that will help you grow. But here's the most important part. Don't expect to reap these fruits immediately. Just keep planting. Before you know it, you'll have planted forests and gardens that attract the right kind of life. Planting means challenging yourself. This doesn't mean you need to push yourself and work 24/7, but always keep in mind that these are the days when you have the most energy and the opportunity to take the biggest risks. Use this to your advantage. Especially when you are young, it may seem like you are missing out on the culture of engaging with various people by investing in yourself, but resist the impulse. You may not understand this now, but as you mature and grow older, you will thank yourself for not getting distracted. Listen to what the wisest man on earth has to say about your youth. These are the words of Solomon. You who are young, be happy while you are young, and let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and whatever your eyes see, but know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. Number 7, being lazy and unproductive with your time. What time do you go to bed, and what time do you wake up? How is your day structured? What do you do when you get back from work? These are all questions you need to take seriously. Don't think of them as secondary tasks you can consider when you have free time. As a man who strives for success in all areas, you need to carefully plan your day. Think about why the powerful are so successful in building the matrix. Every aspect and area was carefully planned. Similarly, think about every part of your day. the types of people you're associating with, the type of content you are consuming. If you don't have the right thoughts in your mind, be sure that you have given open access for the matrix to penetrate you. Laziness is the biggest enemy of men today. As a man, you may have many thoughts related to business or life, but never act on them. If you allow it, laziness will gradually infiltrate you without you noticing, devouring and preventing you from moving forward productively. Always remember, brothers, that laziness only stands a chance against weak men, because a high-value man quickly learns to detect and correct it. Always be aware of laziness and combat it as soon as possible. So remember, brothers, weakness is the virtue of modern society. Weakness is what they pursue, but strength is your greatest virtue. Seek strength at every opportunity, and remember that God is your greatest strength. If you're looking for a practical and inspiring way to incorporate the principles of Stoicism into your daily life, I have a recommendation that could transform your journey. The book, The Daily Stoic 366, Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living, offers an accessible and profound approach to absorbing Stoic wisdom. Each daily meditation, written in an engaging style, provides valuable insights on how to live with resilience, calmness, and purpose. Imagine starting each day with a dose of inspiration that helps you face challenges with serenity and mental clarity. If you want to explore how these timeless lessons can enrich your life, be sure to check out the link in the description to learn more about this essential book. And don't forget to show your support. Click the subscribe button and give a like so the algorithm understands that the video is good and recommends it to more people. Stay on the screen and watch the videos that have appeared here now. See you next time.